The truth is, I don't really like cleaning. Just don't like doing it at all. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda and today I'm excited to talk to you about keeping a clean house. This is actually a topic that was directly requested, but also something that comes up often enough that I thought it made sense that we talk about it. I get asked frequently if I clean my house before I record videos, how, as a busy business owner, I find the time to keep my house clean and keep it looking presentable, and just in general, how I make the time to have a house that just always looks clean. So let's talk about that. The first thing I want to say right off the bat is that there is a big difference between a clean house and a tidy house. So let's think of a show home, for example. If you've ever walked into a show home, you'll notice that it's super organized, it's very clean, it literally looks like nobody could possibly be living there. And we really admire these show homes because they look really good all of the time. Now, are they clean? I don't know. I'm not sure there's someone who's going around and dusting them or washing the floors after all these different people come through. Clean? I don't know. I've never had that job, but I'll tell you what the house is. The house is definitely tidy. So, for the sake of rocking the boat right off the beginning, I'm going to talk about what I believe is the number one reason that people feel like their house is never clean or tidy or presentable when people come over. The number one thing that I associate with a non-tidy environment is that all in all, as a society, we tend to have too much stuff. Now, please don't unsubscribe, because I understand that the process of acquiring things or getting rid of things can be a very emotionally triggering thing to people. I get it. But I also think that there are a lot of things in our life that we've just become blind to, things that no longer serve us or bring us joy. And oftentimes, by putting a little bit of effort in evaluating these things and how they make us feel, we may find that there's a lot of things in our life that are just taking up space. So right off the bat, I'm going to encourage you to evaluate your space, take a look at the areas that just feel really heavy and cluttered, and see if there's anything there that you might be able to start getting rid of, donating, or tossing, depending on the condition of the item. Now, let's say you're thinking to yourself, you're right, I have too much stuff, I'm ready to let some of this go. How do I do it? Where do I start? How do I start to clear this stuff out of my house? I'm gonna tell you that if you plan on doing it all in a weekend, it is going to be extremely overwhelming, very discouraging, and emotionally draining. So this is my recommendation. I recommend that you find a decent sized box or crate and you put it somewhere in your house that you could literally otherwise trip over. Now, safety first, don't put it halfway up your stairs or in the middle of a hallway, but put it somewhere that you can actually see it. Now, as you go about your day or opening random cupboards in your kitchen or bathroom, start to slowly evaluate the things that are in these drawers and what you can get rid of. You will find that over time, as you start to slowly pick away at it, this box is going to start filling up. about once a week, depending on how fast this box is filling up, that you make a plan to bring it to your local thrift store or donation center. This way, you're not just decluttering it, but you're also getting it out of your house. You're not going to notice immediate results, but in time, you'll start to notice that the things you have in your house are the things that you use, and it becomes a lot easier to implement tip number 2. So tip number 2 to a tidy house is making sure that everything that you own has its place. This is really great for 2 reasons. First off, when you're looking for something, you know exactly where it is and where to find it. If you find that you're always trying to find the kitchen scissors or any pair of scissors for that matter, maybe it's time to find it a permanent home. If there are more people who live in your home with you, then they just need to be made aware that this is now the permanent spot for scissors. Knowing that every single thing has its place makes finding it a whole lot easier. The other great thing about everything having its place is that when you find something that's not in its place, you know exactly where it needs to go, which means the process of tidying up at the end of the day becomes a whole lot easier. As your home starts to feel a little less crowded and cluttered, is that anytime that you find something new that you absolutely love that you bring in, that you make a point of letting something go in its place. And that will help make keeping your home maintainable over the long run. Another really great tip as it relates to keeping your home tidy, and this really just depends on what kind of storage you have in your house or the furniture even that you have out in the open, but I make a point of not having things just sitting out. I personally am not a trinket person. I find trinkets to be difficult to keep clean, and no matter what they are, they're always going to look very crowded if they're all together. But choosing to have things behind closed doors and not having things sitting on your surface, whether it be tables or counters, really help make a space look more clear, fresh, and tidy. Something else that we have implemented in our home that I really think is a big game changer in keeping our house always looking clean and tidy is that every single night before we go to bed, we set a 15-minute timer and then we just clean, tidy, organize, put things away. And by doing that, not only do we go to bed with the house tidy and fresh, but we wake up with a house that is ready to go. So whether it means that we are putting away, washing all the dishes, drying them, whatever we need to do, picking up after the dog because he leaves his toys all over the place, but even just taking those few minutes, even if it doesn't mean everything gets done, it really helps distribute the workload of maintaining the house. Now, I say we, because keeping your home tidy and clean is a team effort. If you're living by yourself, then it's all your mess and you should clean it by yourself. But if there are multiple people living in your house, everyone is mutually responsible for making sure that the space is taken care of. For me and Jason, it is both our home, which means we are both responsible for making sure that it is a comfortable, safe, and relaxing place to be. Okay, so now that we've talked about tidying, we've talked about the things that you have, keeping what you need, making sure everything has a home, and then putting in the effort to maintain it with tidying every evening, let's talk about cleaning, because cleaning is a very different thing. If you have a really tidy house, I believe that you can get away with deep cleaning for a much longer period of time. That being said, cleaning, things like sweeping, vacuuming, mopping, scrubbing, wiping down, that stuff still needs to happen, even though it kind of sucks. At least for me anyway. Cleaning is not my jam. But if it's something that you need to really get a better grasp on and get the cleaning in your house under control, I've got a few tips for that as well. My first tip, as it relates to cleaning your house, is to break it down into small bite-sized pieces. I don't think it's realistic that every single weekend you're gonna do a full deep clean of your house. If that works for you, power to you. And you're probably not clicking on this video looking for helpful tips and tricks because you've got it figured out. But if you're like me and you have a busy home or a business that you're running, or maybe you've got little ones in your house, and committing hours on end to clean your house is just not realistic, then breaking it down into much smaller parts is just going to make a lot more sense for you. For me, I'm a to-do list person. I really enjoy putting a few things on a list, getting them done, checking them off. That just gets my endorphins flowing. I feel good about it. It really helps me nail out a good day. However, I also know that if I say clean all the bathrooms, that might just be the only thing that gets done as far as cleaning goes. My rule of thumb is to pick anywhere from 1 to 3 things that you can realistically get done in a day. If that means that you're cleaning the spare room and doing the laundry for all of the bedding, perfect. Then know that that is enough, and that is a step in the right direction. A few things that I do that really help me stay on top of the cleaning is little things like doing at least 1 load of laundry a day. That was some advice that I got from Sarah Therese and her YouTube channel, is that as a family of 6, she makes sure that at least 1 load of laundry gets done every day, because then it's not getting backed up and she's not stuck with a whole lot. So that was a tip that I learned and that I implemented in my life. Another thing that you can do is to set yourself a cleaning routine for the day. This might mean that every single Monday you do the bathrooms. On Tuesday, you vacuum and mop the floors. On Wednesday, you get my point. I have found that there are a lot of really practical cleaning schedules that you can find just by going on Pinterest. If something like a schedule works for you, then maybe that's a route that will help you stay on track. My next 2 tips when it comes to cleaning have got to be by far my favorite. The next one is Delegate. Yes, that's right. You can actually find a company that will come to your house and do the cleaning that you don't want to do. For so long, I played around with the idea and was just worried that it would be something that was far outside my budget. But these are a few things that I learned. The first cleaner that I ever had was actually a friend of mine who went around, cleaned other people's homes as simply a way of making a little bit of extra money. She would use my vacuum, my cleaning products, and I paid her $20 an hour, and she would just come in and do the most amazing job ever. Unfortunately, she doesn't do it anymore, and it really breaks my heart. But I've also come to realize that if you find a really great cleaner that is referred to you by friends or family, then first off, you know that you can trust them because they've been trusted by the people in your life that you love and care about. But secondly, if you're only having a cleaner come out for 1 visit a month, or even 1 every other month, and they're doing the deep cleaning things like getting in and around the toilet, the showers, the bathtubs, baseboards, the deep cleaning stuff. If you're paying someone to come out and do that once a month or every other month, that can be a huge workload off of your shoulders. The other thing that falls under Delegate is that making sure that everybody in your house is taking on responsibility for cleaning. It truly is a team effort. And if I find that I just really don't have the time to get something, then I can ask Jason to help me out. That's part of running a household together. And if that is something that isn't working in your household, then maybe it's time to have that conversation to let the people that you live with, whether they be roommates, spouses, or even children, that their help goes a long way to making the house a lot more comfortable. And then my last tip is acceptance. It is not realistic to put this pressure on our shoulders that our houses need to look like some professionally staged show homes. It is also something that we should accept, that if it takes us a couple extra days to get around to scrubbing toilets, or the floor doesn't get vacuumed until next week, that is so okay. It is okay to prioritize things like your business or your family or your personal self-care ahead of having a pristine home. If it's something that is truly deeply important to you, that your home feel really fresh and really clean, then maybe some of the tips in this video will be able to help you out to find the balance between a clean home and all the other priorities in your life. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helps you get to a point where you can feel happier and more in control in your home. The point is not to have your place look like a show home. The point is to get your house to a stage where you are not carrying as much stress about it as you may currently be holding. I love having all of you here following me along on this journey. I hope that what I share with you is tremendously valuable, and I hope that you are enjoying all of the vlogs that I've been releasing week after week. My big goal for 2022 is really to see this channel grow and evolve as my life and my role evolve as well. It means the absolute world to me to have you click the like and click the subscribe button. It also brings me so much joy to respond to all of the comments that I get on these videos, and I really want to know what tips you've implemented in your home to keep it running smoothly and making it work for you. I really hope to see you in my next video, and if you have any ideas or content suggestions of what you would love to see on my channel, please let me know. Send me a message on Instagram. I would love to chat about that to see how I can bring value to your lives. To a clean home. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.